and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. Thank you for joining me today for the Gemini April horoscope. Okay, it's a big month coming up and some pretty exciting things happening with Jupiter, Neptune and Pluto. I'll talk more about this when I come to your in-depth horoscope. We also have a solar eclipse at the end of the month and 2 new moons in many places around the world. The second new moon is actually known as a black moon. It's just when there are 2 new moons in a calendar month. It's not very astrologically significant, but it's kind of interesting, you know, from a human perspective. All right, if you're new, I'll just briefly tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month for you, and then we'll have a look at your horoscope in depth. I'm not doing the psychic channeling as these videos, these monthly horoscopes are getting bigger than Ben-Hur, and I'm trying to cut down on the time. So yeah, I want to keep it under 20 minutes if I can. Alrighty, if you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Let's go to the board and have a look at these cards. Firstly, you can think of the first card as the first half of the month and the second card as the second half if you want. I've already pre-shuffled these. As you can see, I have to go a bit carefully. All right, so closing my eyes now. What do I see? A wheel turning. It's at 10, I want to say 10 p.m. at night. The wheel is a clock. And it's like the zodiac wheel, in fact. Okay, at 10 p.m. This is about your career, your vocation, your reputation, general life direction, that sort of thing. Okay, so I can see the vision very clearly. Maybe it's more significant than what it suggests here. It's still very significant here too. But there is a lot going on in the top part of your chart. Okay, so this is known as a public chart because there's so much happening up here. All right, let's have a look at the card. It's the Ace of Pentacles. This is fabulous for your money, your possessions, and the things that you value generally. There might be some confusion around, or you're not sure about a certain life direction, but that'll become more clear as the month goes on because there is a lot happening here, and it's all about broadening your life, making your life bigger in some way. Spirit is handing you a gift, and it can help you make more money or get the possessions that you want, perhaps. It's also good for your physical health too. You never hear about pentacles being described in that way, but as a secondary bonus, if you like, because it's a very earthly sort of energy, you can have some sort of spin-off where you have more physical energy, or it improves your body in some way. All right, maybe you're thinking about improving your health through a detox or doing some exercise or something like that. Okay, so the second card of the month, I'll just close my eyes now. What do I see? Yeah, it's about getting organised, tidying up your home. I see somebody washing up dishes. This can also mean spiritually cleaning up your act. Okay, so yeah, detox might be the name of the game. You do have the South Node and a full moon here in your 6th house, your everyday habits. So yes, there is energy for some sort of transformation there. All right, let's have a look. And the card is the Knight of Cups. This is about exploring your emotions, allowing your emotions to come up. You know, sometimes they get sort of bottlenecked down in our body. Trauma might happen, and because we have to be practical at the time, we can't deal with everything at once. Sometimes they get lodged in the body, and then when it's safe to do so and you don't feel so perhaps threatened, or your safety is not an issue, then they can come out of your body if you allow them. And so this is a great time for going down into your subconscious. You can see he's riding a lobster there, or maybe it's a yabby, I don't know. As you do. So this does imply that there is a strong connection with the subconscious. He's having a drink here. That's about going out into the world and having some fun with it too. But yeah, it's like a young man that's got all of his life ahead of him, and he's just going around and exploring and, having a good time, enjoying himself. You can do that too. Alrighty. Knight of Cups in the second half, so it might be some, going out having some fun. All right, so I talked about this being a public chart. 2 new moons, I'll talk about that, and one of which is a solar eclipse in Taurus. Your ruling planet is Mercury, and it's jumping from 11th to 12th to your sign, and so it's going to be quite a busy, active month. Perhaps maybe you have some time here where you retreat from the world a little bit and look at your dreams. If you're clairvoyant, you might see visions and things like that, and so that's really useful to set you up, because soon all of the energy, or some of the energy at least, you'll see here Mercury is going into your sign, so there's going to be a lot of thoughts and a lot of communications and sort of bursting out into the outside world, so to speak. All right, the other important things are that Jupiter is conjunct Neptune and Jupiter is sextile Pluto, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Let's have a look at your horoscope in depth now. Now, depending where you are, the new moon will be either on the 31st of March or the 1st of April, and it's going to be joining Mercury, Sun and Chiron. Okay, so new beginnings, where are we? New beginnings here in your 11th house with groups, connections and friendships. Okay, so you could meet some new people. There's some healing going on. There's a lot of insight and a lot of communications with this new moon. So most of the world, it will be on the 1st of April, but west of Salt Lake City in Utah, so say you're in Los Angeles, it's on the 31st of March. This gives a strong desire for community and emotional contact with people on the same page as you, friendship, and looking for other people who are quite supportive is quite likely. You could be deepening the closeness between yourself and other people, and cultural events or participating in group activities is also quite likely, and also you'll probably have a good time. The 4th of April to the 2nd of May, Venus moves into your 10th house here. Okay, so this is beautiful for your vocation or your career. Even your reputation may precede you in a really positive way. People in superior positions, that's not a good term, is it? People in positions of higher authority, or with contacts at work, they may support you, help you out in some way. It's also a great time for meeting beautiful people through your work if you're working, or in the general sort of direction that your life flows. You might meet somebody beautiful, and it's a good time to enhance your public standing and to create goodwill with the public. It's excellent if you're working with the public and having a public chart as well. It's likely that the public is going to feature in some way. 10th house can also be associated with parents, particularly the mother. Okay, so your mother might, there might be something come up and there's a lot of activity around there. 6th of April to the 14th of April, Jupiter conjuncts Neptune, as I mentioned before. This is fabulous because it's all about broadening your life in some way. Anything Jupiter touches, it amplifies. And with Neptune, you might find your imagination is really soaring into the clouds. You could be, really thinking a lot about the exotic, mystical, and fantastic. Maybe you feel a bit restless and bored with your daily routine, so it is time to do something interesting and, maybe even spiritual if you're that way inclined. It might be hard to concentrate on mundane things, and you could be daydreaming a lot. It's also a great time for vacation and travel. You could be feeling quite spiritually inspired, and it's a great time to attend religious or spiritual functions or festivals and read inspirational literature. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Allow yourself time to really go and investigate the spiritual world. Okay, so 10th of April to the 29th of April, Mercury moves into your 12th house here, and this is time when it's best that if you can spend some time alone or in meditation. Your intuition and sensitivity are quite high now, and you may sort of get glimpses behind the scenes, and you know, maybe you don't want to speak out as much, and perhaps you don't want to take a definite stand on something. That's okay. Wait and see. It's just not the time yet, but soon it will be. 13th of April to the 24th of May, Mars moves into your 10th house here. The 10th house is all about your true vocation, what makes your heart sing, you know, what you do on a daily basis. Even if you're not working, it doesn't matter. It's like your general life direction, and as I said, can be associated with your parents. But with Mars here, you could be more motivated than usual to achieve professional goals and get personal recognition. You might be feeling more competitive than usual. Do watch for ego conflicts, because Mars loves to argue. And even if you don't love to argue, there could be conflicts, especially with people in authority. So don't rush things. If you rush, your mind's not really on the present, and so it's in the future somewhere trying to get something done, trying to accomplish something, but because you're not really present, you can sometimes have an accident, like I did with Mars squaring Uranus. So, you know, I know you feel like a bull at a gate with Mars. It gives you energy to do stuff, and when you've got energy, you want to use it. But yeah, just go step by step. Okay, so we have the 13th to the 16th, Mars also squaring your ascendant. Okay, so you need to be really careful here. Mars is going to be here, and it's going to make a square to your ascendant. So this really is a time to be very mindful of what you're doing, and watch for irritations and conflicts, especially the people you deal with on a daily basis. You could be feeling frustrated or impatient about something, and you don't really want to compromise on something. So it's not the best time to reach agreements with other people, and it'll be a good time to get your grievances down on paper. Otherwise you could be, you know, the tension could be building up. 16th of April sees a full moon in your house of daily work and routines, and also your health. So there could be some sort of concern or some sort of issue come up around these things. Take care of your immediate responsibilities and situations at work, especially that require attention. Maybe you're looking at your diet and nutrition, putting your life in order, and also some sort of self-improvement. And at some point soon, that's 24 degrees. So these two could conjunct the South Node and the full moon, and this means that something from the past could come back into your mind, and you know, there's a bit of turbulence there, but it's only very short-lived. I'd have to work this out actually to see, because the moon does a full rotation in 29.5 days, so it's only in each house for about 2.5 days, so it travels very, very fast through the houses, and so it will probably conjunct here with the South Node, which is all about your past, where you've been, your memories, and there's some sort of karma associated with it too. So just be a little bit cautious, not that anything bad's going to happen at all, but just that, you know, you've got to be practical, but your feelings could come up, so you need to just watch that. All right, 18th of April to the 20th of May, the Sun is in your 12th house, the house of the subconscious. There's likely to be lots of insights If you can retreat from the world for a little while and spend some quiet time relaxing, this will be really beneficial. You might just be feeling pleasantly lazy, and that's fine. It's not really the time to achieve, it's more the time just to be. 28th of April to the 22nd, Mercury moves into your sign. Okay, this is when you can speak out and come out and make a statement about things that have been, probably on your mind for some time. You're more likely to be keen and alert and very articulate, and it's an excellent time to initiate discussions and communications. The only proviso, of course, is that you listen to other people, because this gives you a lot of energy for speaking out, but not so much energy for listening. So obviously, to be effective, you need to do both. The 30th of April, the new moon partial solar eclipse, and also black moon in many parts of the world and west of Salt Lake City is also in your 12th house here, adding even more energy to your subconscious and your spirituality. Things are going to come up, and you can have wonderful insights with this particular configuration. You've got North Node and Uranus there as well. You might be very surprised at some of the things that you learn about yourself under this influence. You could be feeling quite sensitive, quite psychic, or just the realizations that you have could really affect your life in a positive way. So do spend that time in spiritual renewal. The 30th to the 3rd of May, Mars sextiles Uranus. It's quite an exciting time. You want to do things that are new and out of the ordinary. You probably have a lot of energy and quick reflexes now. It's a great time for sport, and go out and have a walk in the morning if you can. And there's spontaneous impulses that are likely to come up. Maybe you have some crazy ideas. See what you can do to actually make them physical and bring them into your life. So a lot of surprises, but with all the insight you're having, it's probably very, very positive for you. And then 27th of April to the 7th of May, Jupiter sextiles Pluto, which is fabulous because it gives a lot of cooperation with businesses, governments, organisations, and even powerful people. So they're likely to help you in some way. They cooperate with you. Even if, for example, government departments such as Centrelink have ignored you or haven't been helpful in the past, all of a sudden they're helpful. If you're in Australia, this is probably because there's an election coming up, although it hasn't been announced. There's an election coming up very soon, probably April or May, and the government will probably give away money to try and buy votes. It seems to be what they do sometimes, especially now because they could lose. It's going to be tight, and they could actually lose. So they could be buying votes, so all of a sudden government becomes helpful again and gives people money. You could also be a representative of an organisation, or you could be called to be a leader of in some group, and if so, you're likely to be very successful in this role. Alrighty, so that's your horoscope. I hope it's useful for you. I'll put that like that in case you want to write anything down. So here's this card here, the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning with money. So that's probably money coming from the government, as well as anything you may do yourself, basically. So time for some fun, and time also to have some time out. Okay. Well, that's it, everybody. I hope this is useful for you. Please leave a like or a comment and share on your socials. I would love you forever. Well, I'll appreciate it. Put it that way. And if you are new, please consider joining the channel and hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful and a very insightful month. Okay, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.